Well, good day, everybody. Kenny Jang here. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode here of the show. We've got a special guest with us here today. I've been telling him that the last couple of months, his name has been popping up and reputation preceding you. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience here today and tell us a little bit about what you are doing?
Kenny, you are too kind. Hey, it's so good to be talking with you today. Really, it is. I am one of the co-founders of a company called Lightstock, and there we try to provide faith-based, cheesy-free content for churches, nonprofits. It's a company we started about 4 or 5 years ago, having a ball with it, and starting a new company actually just this year called Dwell, which is a scripture listening app, which my brother and I are really excited about. So
nice.
Lots of fun things happening.
Nice. So Joshua, well, let's talk about your first company. What was the genesis of that for real? And how many churches are you serving right now, or how many people are you serving with that resource? Because it definitely is sorely needed in our space.
Yeah. Well, the first company I actually started was Graceway Media. I don't know if you're familiar with that company, but my brother and I, we started that company back in 2006. And so we're pastors' kids. So we kind of know the plight of senior pastors. So we started creating graphics for my dad back in college. And we decided, hey, instead of using a blue background and yellow text, Dad, let us help you out and do something that looks a little bit more professional, creative. And so we started putting these graphics online. And lo and behold, pastors loved it.
Right.
And so it really just kind of took off in a way that was just kind of godlike. It was just, we were blessed. And so we just kind of fell into entrepreneurship, and we were able to grow that company. We were serving about 4,500 churches when we sold to Rob Thomas of Igniter.
Yep.
And we knew from doing Graceway that we really wanted to start a stock photography company that addressed that stigma in church media, which is just there wasn't a lot of quality out there. I mean, we were searching, trying to find content to use in our presentations and graphics, just hard to find.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to end that stigma. And so I think we're making a dent with Lightstock, and we love it.
Gotcha. And share with us the business model for Livestock in particular.
Yeah, so we have a subscription model where you can come and you can sign up, if you want to spend $10 a month, all the way up to $200 a month or something like that. And you can access content. We've got stock photography, vectors, even video clips. And then we do have a little pay-as-you-go option where if you're not into a subscription, you don't like commitments, which I totally get.
Yeah. And so I think people just are trying to evolve out of clip art and other low-level resources. Recently, I pulled together on my blog a list of all the freebie sites out there. There was we stopped at like 134 free, royalty-free sites out there, but even the quality there's only, it's 90-10 rule where there's only a few that are decent, and then the problem is everyone uses them, right? Everyone knows Unsplash,
right?
And how many times can you use the same photos over and over again? And so I think resources like Lightstock is just fantastic because you're able to find quality images that are relevant to church life, faith life, etc.
And we're really trying to create, Kenny, an ecosystem where we find these faith-based photographers, designers, creatives, and we connect customers and these creatives together where you're creating this virtuous cycle. Christian creatives are getting paid to do this beautiful work. And that's one of the goals for us, is to just, how do we make something sustainable too, where this whole community can just thrive and flourish. So far so good. We've got about, got over 10,000 customers and 1,000 contributors. And so, God has blessed us for sure.
Now, February 1st, we're both going to be with Propel 2017. They are focusing on churches that are 300 or less, which I love. My heart is for that solo pastor ministry or the small team that's really trying to break out of that 100 barrier, 200 barrier, 300 barrier.
Sure.
What is the category of talk that you are going to be teaching on?
So I'm on the board of Justin's company, and so he asked me a few months ago if I wanted to speak in the area of personal vitality, which is something I'm really passionate about. All things growth. I am actually speaking on the importance of establishing a morning routine. And
Love it.
that sounds really blah, but man, I think it's one of the most important things leaders can do is to solidify a morning routine in their life that's filled with growth-oriented things, whether that's seeking first the kingdom, reading good growth-oriented books, writing, practicing self-awareness, all this stuff. There's a number of growth-oriented things that we need to be doing every day. And so that's what I'm challenging church leaders with at Propel.
Yeah, I love, systemization, processes, workflows. That's all great stuff. We all know that when you apply them to the enterprise or the mission, the organization, it works. And yet so many times we forget about it for ourselves. And I was excited when I heard that you're going to be talking about that, setting us up for success. Even personally, I'm becoming much more self-aware of even energy levels throughout the day and my peak productivity zones. And so, I think it's a great topic that you're talking about.
Yeah, and you're right on the peak productivity zones because hierarchy is such a big thing. We have, the most energy in the morning. And so the first thing I want to do in the morning is seek the kingdom. And I want to give my best to God first. And so I kind of talk a little bit about that in the talk, and everything, the most important work I'm doing in the morning during my growth time, and it just kind of flows from there, and so you're totally right.
So are you one of those proponents of like extra early morning? The more leaders I read and dig into when they're transparent about their routines, you hear these leaders that are getting up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, definitely before the rooster crows. Is that part of the routine that you're advocating?
I do. I actually wake up between 5 and 5:30 on the weekdays, and now I chill out and relax on the weekends because I think there's a good rhythm that you get into. I don't think it has to be all day every day, but I'm an advocate of early rising for sure. I think there's magic that happens in those early morning hours, and so I'm an advocate.
And so what time do you hit the pillow at night?
So I'm usually in the bed by 9:30 and then asleep by about 10. So
Gotcha.
that's
And then what about this? This is the other thing in our American culture that I wish it becomes more popular is the Holy Grail is the afternoon nap.
Yeah, man, I gotta get in on that. I have not taken advantage of that. I can. My own boss, for goodness sakes. But we take in the afternoons we take a 15-minute walk at the office. All of our team gets up and we walk. We've got the power snacks and all that stuff. So we're trying to implement some of those things.
Yeah, and one of my colleagues, I found out what he used to do actually is go into the car in the parking lot and take a 15-minute power nap, which I never thought about because you always use the excuse you can't take a nap in the office, but it's something that 2017 might be the year of the power nap in the car.
There you go. Hey, that's not a bad idea. That's pretty smart. Yeah.
What's in the future for you? You've mentioned another company, another enterprise that you're trying to get up and running. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, for John and I, and we're co-founders in everything we do, there's not a great way to listen to scripture on your phone. Now, when I tell people that, they're like, well, there's this app, there's this app, there's that. But really the kind of experience that I'm looking for is an incredibly easy, intuitive experience that creates a jumping off point for people to dig into the Word. The company we just started is called Dwell, and it's from Colossians. Let the words of Christ richly dwell within you. And so it's not a memorization app. It's all about listening. It's all about taking it in. It's all about letting yourself be washed by the Word. And so we're right in the early goings of creating that. We're going to be launching a Kickstarter in the next few months. We're going to have background music behind it. So we're working with some artists there. And we're going to have multiple voices, multiple translations. It's going to be really cool. I'm very excited about it.
Is it going to be dramatized like the New Experience Bible?
It's not going to be. We're going to have one voice out of the four that is going to have a dramatized feel, but we want to have different ways to experience it. So we're going to 2 females, 2 males, and just different voices, different approaches. So
I'm excited about that. Yeah, audio Bibles have been near and dear to me. One of the groups and people I've worked with is Fellowship of the Performing Arts, Max McLean, who kind of pioneered the audio Bible, right, with Zondervan back in the day, and being still used everywhere. And especially with new believers, I'm a big proponent of getting into the audio because it really brings the word to life for many people in ways that the text doesn't.
Yeah, it's so easy to listen to great music on your phone, so easy to listen to a book through Audible podcasts, but I find that there's not a super easy way to just access scripture when I go for a run or when I'm commuting. Just an easy way, like here's a listening plan, here's one of the stories of the Bible, and you just get right into it. So hopefully that'll turn out good.
Nice. Kickstarter is going to hit when? When is it going to go public?
We're hoping for the end of March, early April. So we shall see. We'll keep you posted on that.
Nice. So if people wanted to get in touch with you directly about this project or the other ones, what's the best way for people to do that? Is it social media, email? Drop some URLs. What's the best way?
Well, Twitter's always good. It's just Josh David Bailey.
Josh David Bailey.
Yeah, and then I'm actually launching a personal blog in just about a week or so. It's Grow Daily, GRODAI.LY. And so that's where a lot of my personal writing is just going to live. And then, of course, Lightstock's out there. And so those are some great places to catch up with me.
Nice. Looking forward to your Propel talk. I'm assuming you'll be on social with the hashtag Propel17 with the conversations throughout the day.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
And thank you so much for spending some time today. I know your busy schedule. I really appreciate it. But I'm excited that we're going to be teaching together and looking forward to engaging with more of the people here online. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing for the kingdom.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. We appreciate it. Looking forward to it.